Hey everybody, let me know you can hear me. I know you can't see me because I'm only on camera. Hello, Arlene. Hi, Jeremy. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Hi, Diane. Hi, Marianne. Awesome. 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 Hi, Pam. Hi, Lingo. Kathleen. Hi, Sue. I'm only running one camera. We're going to test a theory here to see if we get better reception on your end. That we don't sit and spin and go through the, the fun Wheel of Fortune that it plays. Hi, Katia. Yeah, everybody give me a thumbs up. So far, so good. That sounds good. Yeah, I tested the speed test, and yeah, I'm rocking it now. Yeah, we're moved and we're set up. We're going to be stationary here until Saturday, and then we will be moving again. And we will be at the next place for a week, and then we will move yet again. That's the perils of living in an RV, as the snowbirders and the winter people, move from Florida. The places start opening up so you can stay longer. You know what I mean? No, that is a Tatsy Pico gauge with a ruler. I've had it for years. Hi, Pasha. Yeah, I think OBS is just really giving YouTube a fit. And what I'm going to do, because the type of camera that I use for class, it's got a lens cover built in, so I can turn it off and turn it on, and then y'all won't get seasick, so I can point the camera to me and then talk to you one-on-one, and then turn the camera down after I close the lens cap. But I've got to set the gear up differently. Awesome, Kathleen. You have one too, Jeremy? That's cool. I really like it because it's a good Pico gauge. It's a good size. Hi, Carol. Hi, Stephen. Yeah, Sue, I know it's really a good Pico gauge in my opinion, and it also has got a nice little ruler. It's a 2-inch ruler on here. Don't need anything any bigger than that. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Cheryl. Oh, we got a good group today. And y'all make sure you give me a thumbs up so we can build on that algorithm. We got about 5 more minutes and then class will start. But I'm going to show you a few tricks. All right, Corinne. Yeah, it's one of my favorite. I tend not to carry it with me when I'm traveling because I don't want to lose it. But you don't know how many times I've dropped this thing down on the couch and went digging. Well, now Dennis has a metal detector, and it came with one of them handheld doodads. So if I lose it, he can find it. I told him, I said, that's the only reason I let him get it. So he can find my tools that I need. So how to load your shuttle without your thread all being twisted. Yep, Sue, I am going to show you that real quick today. Let me get a shuttle. Yeah, I had a visitor come see me, and it was funny. She had a lanyard that she had beaded. She did some bead work, and she used a bobbin that they use for bobbin lace as the piece came from one side of the lanyard to the other. And she had all her little tools hanging off it. It's the neatest thing. I just fell in love with it. A magnet? Nope, it's not a magnet. What it is a metal detector. And it's a handheld metal detector. And he can run it across things and find anything that's metal. And the big metal detector tells you if it's gold, silver, or whatever, you know. And he uses that to find all the little things I lose. Okay, Sue, pay close attention to what I'm doing. Now, I'm just going to take the thread off this shuttle and put it over here. If you were going to do this, this would be your ball of thread. Okay, so let me show you this. You're going to drop your thread down through the hole. If there's not a hole, you just wrap the thread around. But what you want to do is grab a pinch of that thread. See how it's on my finger? Grab a pinch of that thread and hold it in place. Then you start just a couple of turns in the windmill method. Just enough to lock that thread on. Okay? Now, here's what you're going to do. Let me get some thread off. Now you begin to walk this thread on. All right? You see, here's the shuttle. The thread's coming out the back. All right? What you want to do, pay attention. Flip the back of that thread towards your hand and start walking it on. Just like that. Okay? And as you're walking it, you're taking the twist out of that thread. And if you watch that shuttle, see it twirling? That twist is coming out. Now, that doesn't say you're not going to get twist. Just drop your shuttle every now and again. Okay? Does that make sense to you, Sue? Do you think you can do it on your own now? It's real easy. Just let me know. If you had a lanyard, the cat would eat it. I've got a dog that eats everything. All right, then your thread is not going to twist anymore. If you walk it on, it stops that twist. And if you see that it's getting a little kinky, see, this has got no twist in it because I let it drop. Let that shuttle drop, okay? Hold it up in the air and let that twist come out naturally. It will not harm your thread. But if you take your thumbnail and do this, you can split the plies and make it, you know, a little worse for wear, and your the strength of your thread will be lost. Okay, so with that, let's get on with the classes. Hi, Teresa. So for everyone that's here, okay, question. I was asked by someone if tatting can be machine made. I didn't know what to answer to that question. Yes, Katia, it can. There is a guy that uses some kind of a machine to do machine-made tatting. It is not the same. And you can see the difference when you look at it. The double stitch doesn't look like a double stitch. Okay? But yeah, they do make machine-made tatting. But I'll be honest with you, I'm a tatter and it's just ugly. Well, that's where you're wrong, Pam. It is too creative for a machine. But they do have a machine that makes tatting. And you can look at it and tell that it is machine made. Oh, wow. Stockholm, Sweden. And you're in the middle of a blizzard. Wow. Glad to meet you. You're the first time in here, isn't it? Karen. Hi, Mary Jane. Hey, Tasia. Brussels, Belgium. Yet again. Right, Stephen. See, Joanne did it with hers. Hi, Brew. Yeah, they do make pretty, small bits. Hi, Robin. Awesome. Well, today you're not going to see my face. We're going to run just a single camera for a while. Hi, Teresa. Teresa, I got a question for you. I was reading up on some things today about the slope and roll and the Catherine wheel join. Now, my question, aren't they the same? They look to be done the same way, or am I wrong? Yeah, Joanne, I agree with you. Got to have the real stuff. You got it, Arlene. You got it. That is a fact. You can disagree with me completely on that. Hi, Nikki. All right. So for those of you that are not registered with the classes, please do register with the classes. We have some little added perks that you can get involved in. We have our own Facebook page. And if you're not a member of the classes, you can't go on the Facebook page. But the Facebook page is private, and we have well over 500 years of knowledge in that Facebook group of other tatters that will help you. And if you have a question, you are going to get so many people to answer those questions. You want to find a pattern? That's where you need to go to get the result you're looking for. So with that said, join the classes at the online tatting class at gmail.com. Yeah, I'll get it out. My teeth just don't want to work today. Okay, I'll look at that. I'm just doing some research. Yeah, I know. It does seem easier. It does. Hi, Kaylin. Hi, Jill. Another thing, we also have super chats, super stickers, super thanks, and we also have a PayPal account if you'd like to donate. The classes are free. The website is free. Everything is available to you at no cost. However, I take on these costs myself. And yeah, it's quite expensive to run these classes. But every little bit counts, even $1. 50 cents helps. Okay? So if you can donate, we would appreciate it. All funding goes towards the classes being run, and anything left over after all the bills are paid goes into the scholarship fund to get students to the tatting convention. So the PayPal is the online tatting class at gmail.com. That is the address for the PayPal. So Pam, can you make sure Karen, when she signs up, gets that link for me? Now, with that, I want to tell you all, I want to thank those that have donated so far. Your names are going into a hat. And at the end of this season, before summer break, we're going to draw from that. And some lucky winner is going to get a gift card from Handy Hands. Can't tell you how much, because that's the big secret. But it will be worth more than what you donate, I promise. Okay, so with that, if you can donate, every donation is appreciated and accepted with love. All right. Hi, Allie. You're not late. You're right on time. Hi, Mavis. See, we're all over the world. Okay. And we have translators that translate these classes in other languages. So, yeah, we're reaching out. But with that said, today we are going to look at this motif from a different angle, okay? I've gotten a lot of questions on that final join, okay? How do I do that to a mock picot? Well, you do it just like any other picot. There's no difference. The problem is you're running into a double join. All right? So, with that, I want to show you. Hi, Barb. We're running one camera today so I can see what everybody's saying, but when I look down, I'm not reading, okay? Now, on this, I want to show you this. Can you guys see what I have done here? Can you see these little wires coming out and these little tails? These are the tails. Hi, Jan. These are the tails from the beginning ring and the tail from the ending ring. These are helper loops. Now, this is done with Fireline. The nice thing about Fireline is you can fold it out of your way. If you use floss threaders, you can't fold them. They don't fold very well at all, and they tend to get in your way. You don't know how many times I've tatted on one of those by accident, not paying attention. So these Fireline, they just mosey on over there and they're out of your way because they're made of a very, very thin wire, okay? And I love these for a helper thread or a helper loop to pull my ends in, okay? But on this one, you want to pull these ends into the opposite ring, okay? Now I'm going to show you how I do it, and there are other ways. There isn't no set way on tying your ends in, okay? Just be mindful of how you do it so it looks neat and appealing, okay? But what I do is I will throw in something similar to the shoelace trick to set my ends up opposite, okay? So I just take it and fold it over, tie it up. Just one little go around. Mind you, my fingers are going to get in the way, but you'll see it when I'm done. All right, now I've got that. Now, I have this one placed to go up in this ring, okay? And I have this end placed so it will go up in this ring. Now, the next thing you want to do is open up your Fireline or your floss threader, whatever you're using. You can use thread. If you're going to use thread, use a smaller thread than what you're tatting with. Otherwise, it will bulk up inside. And you want to pull that thread in through that little loop. This is where it can get tedious. Yep, it'll get tedious. Now, you don't want to pull from down here. You want to pull from up here. Reason is, all this has got to go through there. Okay? And it's easier if you pull from the end than up here because you're going to kink up. So, here we go. We grab the end that goes to that one. And we start working it. You all see this thing crawling in? You want to hold it so it stays in place. All right? And you grab and you keep pulling. If it kinks up and it doesn't come through, you can grab a pair of pliers. You can grab your hackle pliers and you can pull. Just roll it around, get you a good grip, and pull. And it should come. If it doesn't, you just got to keep grabbing and going. Okay? And it's sweaty in my room and my hands are sweaty. I've got the AC on, but I'm not even going to tell you people up north how hot it is right now. Not even going to do it. It's sunny. It's clear skies. I'm in the middle of Florida. It's hot. Okay, if it should kink up, back it up. Let's try it again. And you just keep working with it. I'm going to lock it on there real tight. There it goes. Gotcha. And it came through. And that's how you pull your ends through. Okay. And it's a process. You get used to it after a while. Okay. Usually I will take some thread conditioner, and I didn't on this. Wasn't thinking. Thread conditioner like Thread Heaven, Thread Magic, something like that. And I'll run it on this thread that I'm pulling through. Okay. Once I run it on that thread, it makes it a little more slick so it slides through better. But as you can see, my little floss threader thing is intact. Nothing wrong with it. It did not break. Okay. So, and you've seen the grip I had on it. You would do the same thing with the other side. You'd feed it through and pull. Okay. All right. Fireline. You can get Fireline through Fire Mountain Gems. You can get it through any bead store. It is a beading wire. Okay. So if you want Fireline, check your bead stores. You should be able to get it. And it comes in a variety of colors. Amazon also carries it. So check it out. Oh, Joanne, you'll get it. You'll get it. I'm so sorry to hear that. All right. The little tool I use, this is what they use for fly fishing to tie the knots. I got mine at Amazon. You can get them for like $6 a piece. They're real cheap. And they are called hackle pliers. HACL, I think CKLE pliers. Okay. I will put a link down below the video. Okay. So that you can order it from there. I do not have an Amazon store. Okay. Don't have an Amazon store. I just put links to things that I use down below. Okay. Pam, please put the link to the PayPal address for Karen. This is a 16, I think. Let me look. Let me get my little duckies in a row here. I have some in the white here. That's Wildfire. Sorry. That's not Fireline. That's Wildfire. It will work. It's more of a nylon, though. It will break. Let me get my Fireline out. I know it's in here somewhere. I have a little baggie of tools in here. So this is what it looks like. And it is 15 yards, 6 pound. And it's 0.015 millimeter. It's a very, very small stamp Fireline. So, but this is put out by Beadsmith. Their products are really, really good. Really. So I use a lot of Beadsmith stuff. I used to be a beader, and yeah. So bead stuff and tatting stuff, they go together. Well, I don't have no fishing shops. I'm jealous. I'm jealous, people. I'm jealous. Anyway, I'm not going to tie this other end in. I'm just going to snip that puppy off and call it a day. Because the main thing I want to show you, this will go in my little bucket of doodads. Okay, is how do we join on this side here? Now, these little picos up here are your rings, folks, your thrown rings. Okay, that's what those are going to represent. Now we have another one that has to go on right here before we go into our chain. Okay, so let me wrap my hand, get my threads all in the right place. They just want to fight me at every turn. By the way, my dog is snoring. I'm just saying, she's asleep over here. All right, now we're going to put in that picot. Get that going here. And we're going to put in our first 4 double stitches. It's 2, 3, and 4. All right. Now, we've got our last ring. This represents the ring, okay? And after you get your 4 double stitches in, you've got to join it to this tiny picot over here. All right? Any ideas from you all, and not you seasoned tatters? Y'all can't answer this question. I want to see what my students know. How do you join to this side by side? What technique would you use to join to this chain here and that picot? And yes, that is a picot. It's a very tiny picot. It's right here. Okay, so what technique would you use? Right, Kathleen. Oh, wow. Marianne, Katia. Oh, you all are top of your game. Yes, it is a folded join, not a lock join, a folded join. And the way you do a folded join is you're going to fold your work over. Okay, that's where the folded join comes from. You're folding your work over. So let's wrap our hand because we're going to join this. And when we fold this over like that, we want to make sure that picot is in line with this thread here. Can everybody see that? What you do, take your hook, and this is where you need a crochet hook, because you're not getting this pick through that tiny picot. All right, so you take your crochet hook, come up through that picot, twist around and grab your thread, and you're going to pull it back through that picot. Okay, now what you just did by doing it that way is you kept that picot from twisting when you put in your last 3 double stitches. Let's do that again. I want to be sure you all got this. You go under the picot. See, your work, this is the back side of your work. This is the front side. So you want to go under, because you're folded, and grab that picot. Twist around and grab your thread. Then you're going to pull it down through that picot. After you pull it through that picot, I want you to put it on your finger, just like that. What that does is that keeps that picot open and keeps it from twisting. You don't want nothing to twist because it's not going to look right in the end. Now, take your shuttle, go through that picot. Once you go through the picot, you want to pull it down tight. Okay? Now, before you go any further, you want to check and make sure your picot did not twist. Open it back up. And it should lay right like it's supposed to. Okay, can you see it? Let me get it up closer. Can you guys see that picot is not twisted? Okay, so work it down, bring it on down. We're going to fold it back over. All right, now just put in your last 3 double stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, once you get to that, I'm going to show you something. because you're done with this motif, right? Take your scissors, say snip and snip. Okay, open it back up. Now, this is your mock picot right here. Now you've got to join these two to that mock picot. This is the point that you would run if you wanted to use helper loops, which on this, with it being a mock picot, I do not advise. Because with it being a mock picot, you take the chance of that picot shrinking in size and not being even with the others. You take a chance of it coming completely apart there. You don't want that. My advice is sew in these ends. All right. I do have a video up on the site of how to sew in your ends. But you want to use a very small needle. Okay. And what you want to do if you're going to sew your ends, and this is a trick, nobody's going to teach you this or tell you about it but me. All right. Take it and you split them plies on that thread. See how I'm splitting it? See how it's feathering out? Now, the eye of that needle is going to be very, very thin. Okay, you're not getting this size 20 thread through that eye as a bulk. Then moisten that thread and make it flat. Okay, moisten it up and make it flat. Then thread the needle. Once you get past where you flattened, then the 20 will go through. Okay, and all you're going to do is go up between your stitches. Over to the next stitch, come down between the stitches. And you just keep that up until you get your end sewed in. Or you can run along the core thread. Okay, it's easier if you go in between the stitches. It locks in the same. But before you do either one, what you want to do is join it to this. And the best way is take the core from your chain and pull it through to the back side of that picot. And again, do the shoelace trick knot. Okay, and all that is the first part of tying your shoes. Okay, so there you go. You tie it up, one little movement. That's it. And what that does, okay, is it helps lock it in place. Now you want to sew your yellow into your yellow ring. You want to sew your blue into your blue thread. Don't sew your yellow into the blue. It's going to show. All right. So does everybody got that? No, I'm not going to sew them in. I got to cut the nails off to do it. And I don't even ask where my nail cutters are. I can't find nothing right now. We're only partially unpacked right now because we're moving. When we're hopping like this, we don't unpack the house that much. So if you got that, the next thing on our agenda is how do you block your tatting? It's the hardest thing in the world to do. I'm telling you, it's really hard. And if you believe that, I got a bridge in Arizona sitting over the ocean to sell you. All right. It is one of the easiest things you will ever do. But if you don't do it right, it's going to show. Okay. And I learned from some of the best on how to do this. Teresa Woods is one of them, and she's in here. All right. So I'm going to move all this out of the way. And get me a little bit of a drink. And I'm going to sit some things down here. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you first. This is T-pins. They are rust-proof T-pins. They use these T-pins in various arts and crafts. They use them for macrame. They use them for wigs too, to hold wigs on the wig heads. That's what they use them for. And I got this. It's a variety of sizes because I use them for a lot of things. Okay, not just tatting, but I use them for various other things. And the different sizes accommodate what I need. Okay. And here's another little, that's a motif we're going to block. All right. Here's another little goodie. I'm going to try to turn it so you guys can see it. Now, this is all in Japanese. Okay. And I got this from Black Sheep Emporium. Y'all want to know what this is? It's the best thing since sliced cheese. I'm going to tell you. You want your rounds to be blocked evenly. Okay. You want them to be uniform throughout. Okay. You want to get this. Okay. It's not that expensive. Not for the time and trouble it saves you. It has 3 different blocking mats. Okay. In 3 different sizes. It will save you some time and trouble. Lots of time and trouble. So we're going to grab one of these blocking mats. Now you can use this. I'm using it on my macrame board. Okay. But you can use it on any foam board or any kind of blocking boards you've got. They make these foam mats for like in a baby's room, playpens and stuff like that. You can use those. Anything that's self-healing would work great. So there you go. Now, you would think these things are huge. They're not. Okay. So what you want to do is line this up on your mat. Okay. And what I do at this point is I take some pins. Okay. And I stick them in there to hold it in place. Pull it tight. Pull it tight. Because if you're going to go to the trouble to tat a doily for a specific need or want, if you're going to block it right. Make it beautiful. Make it prettier than you made it when you tatted it. That's the way I look at it. Now, what you want to do next, you want to lay your tatting. You want to center it. Okay, on that ring. And the way you center it is you center it to the center ring. Okay. Then you start pulling your pins out. Here, I'm going to use smaller T-pins for this. All right. Now, I'm not going to sit here and block the whole thing out with the T-pins. I'm just going through the demo. But what you want to do, your picots that are joined, you want to pull them in place. Go across from that picot, line it up on the same line, same spot, pin it in place. Do the same thing with another picot. You can come over here and it should line up with this line here. Okay, we're working on the center part first. Pin it. Now you want to go to the ring directly across from that. Okay, you want to line it up, same thing. Pin it. Have any of you all ever blocked an Afghan that you crocheted? Same principle. Okay, and you just continue blocking it out, pinning it out. Then you want to pin each individual picot. Right. Right. That is right. Teresa gives good advice there. Use the very smallest pins you can. Now, these pins here are my smallest T-pins. Right here. But I have straight pins that are even smaller than that I use. Okay. And the smaller the easier. Just remember, these lines are your friend. Okay, they keep the motif aligned and where it's supposed to go. Now we're going to do the outer rounds. Okay, we're going to pull this one. That's our center picot and pin. Ouch, just stuck myself. Okay, we want to go directly across, grab the center picot, and pin. Okay, and you want to do all of your picots, not just a assorted variety. Okay, but you want to do all your picots. Here's the next one. We go out to that second round here. Okay, and you go directly across, which is this one. See, and we're working on the middle rings. Okay, and you just keep that up. Once you get everything set and it's ready to go, all right, you take you a bottle of water. Here is a bottle I got somewhere along the way. Okay, and you put water in it. You don't need any chemicals, just water. And you want to lightly mist your piece. Okay, once you mist this, you leave it sit. Let it air dry. And then when you pull it off, this is what you're going to have. And yes, this is the finished piece of our project for class. But that's what you're going to have. And it will look better than it did before you blocked it. Okay? So, has everybody got the blocking method down? Have you got any questions? Because there are people here that can answer your questions. And if you ask a hard question, I can't answer it. I got 10 people sitting in your class that can. Not if, Sue, it will not be stiff unless you use starch. Okay? If you use starch on it, yeah, it's going to be stiff. You got throwing daggers. I stiffened a pattern I did one time and it looked like a throwing star. You can finger block, you can wet block throughout the pattern. I suggest, and I'm not the only tatter that does this, on a pattern that's as delicate as this, I do suggest wet blocking every round, because when you come in with your next round, it makes it set evenly. Okay, so yeah. Exactly, Arlene. Block between your rounds. It'll save you a lot of time and trouble down the road. I would not advise using cornstarch for a glue, not on tatting, because bugs really like cornstarch and they will eat your tatting and you don't even know they've eat it until you go to pick it up and it just crumbles in your hand. No, you do not need to starch all your finished projects unless you want to starch them. That is, you know, tatter specific. Okay, I've got tatting pieces I don't starch. My sun catchers that I do, yes, I starch the centers because it makes them hold up to being, you know, attached to that ring and set like I need it to sit. Okay. No, Allie, you would pin every picot on every ring and chain. That way it lines everything up, but you want to work. Every time you put a pin here, you put it opposite its side. You put a pin here, you go opposite. And you keep working opposites, and that lays it out evenly. Yes, you do need to reblock every time you wash it. Now, let me give you a little food for thought on how to wash your tatting. Okay. You can wash it in the wash machine. I do not suggest that. Okay. Because then you're going to have all these little fuzzy ends hanging out everywhere. I don't care how well you tie them in, they're going to hang out. Okay. It's just a fact of life because the wash machine does this. Okay. It's constantly ripping away at your tatting. You can get those little ditty bags, those little mesh bags, put them in there. It's still doing this. Okay. Do not wash your tatting in the wash machine. Keep you a plastic jar. I'll tell you a jar that's a really good jar to use. It's a plastic mayonnaise jar. It's big enough for even your largest doilies. Okay. Tablecloths, not so much. Tablecloths should be done in a bucket. Okay. Make sure when you do this, you have a very delicate type of soap. Something like Woolite would work. If you've got the Quilter's soap, Orvis, you buy that at various different places. Amazon has it in little packets, or you can get it in this big jug. I bought the big jug, and the post office wanted to know if I was buying bricks. It's very heavy. No, it's not on this rig because it is very heavy. But I take out a bottle to wash my tatting in. Okay, I got a little dish, and you only use a fingernail full of that stuff. So it don't take much. A little drop in the bucket does wonders. Yeah, exactly. A very teeny little goes a long way. You could probably wash every bit of the tatting that's on display at the Lace Museum in a little fingernail full. Okay, I'm just saying it does a lot for you. And it's a softer type of soap than the Woolite, to be honest. Yeah, exactly, Arlene. If you're going to wash your tatting in the machine, make sure everything's sewed down. Dawn dish soap is great to get the oils and stuff from your skin off of the tatting, but it will not prevent it from yellowing. Orvis is the only product I know that will help tame that yellowing. So, with that said, do you all understand the blocking technique? Now, this is wet blocking. Okay. There's another form of blocking that is called heat blocking. All right. And I'll get into that on a later date. I have a mat that you use for heat blocking so that the heat from the iron goes completely through your tatting. Okay. Bought it, gosh, I'm going to say 30 years ago. That's how old this thing is. And I've used it for all my lace. Okay. I don't even know if you can buy them anymore, to be honest with you. But you lay it on your ironing board, and the steam goes through the tatting. You never lay the iron itself on your tatting. You hold it above your tatting, and you hit it with the steam from the iron. Okay. And it's like a steam block. But this mat makes that steam go all the way through the tatting down to the ironing board. Okay. Then where it goes from there, I don't know, and don't really care as long as it doesn't hurt my tatting. Okay. I always moisten my tatting before I steam block it. That way, while I'm hitting it with the steam, it's drying it. And I can tell if it is all blocked by how dry it is. Okay. So you can do a steam block. Just do not lay that iron on your tatting because it flattens your stitches. All right, so don't do it on the tatting itself. If you are going to, make sure you put a press cloth, as Teresa says, between. Okay. Yeah, somebody did. Yeah. You can put a towel under the tatting, over the tatting to protect your tatting, but still, I wouldn't lay an iron on it. I just wouldn't, because that flattens those stitches, and that's what makes the tatting beautiful, is those stitches. The picots help, but the stitches are the thing, okay? So if you're going to heat block, be careful. I always wet block, okay? I never heat block. The reason I don't is because I don't want my tatting messed up. I can do heat block, but I use heat block for things like crochet, that type stuff. You can block with a rolling pin, and the way you do it is you wet your piece, okay? You lay it out on a towel, another towel on top of it, and you roll it up with that rolling pin. What that does is that pulls the moisture out of the piece and into the towels. So you want to make sure you have very absorbent towels. Okay? Then once you get it all done, then you roll it out flat and just let it lay there. And it will dry and it will do its thing. But remember, if you don't block these little picos, it's still, you know, it's not going to be any good to do it that way. Those picos have to be laid out proper, or they're just going to be all over the place. Especially if you have a piece that has the woven picos, that they're woven like, you know, hatch like this. Okay, if you use that type of method, that's going to really ruin that look. And you want that look to stand out. So it's depending on the piece, depending on what your use is for that piece, how you block it. And it's to each tatter's own. Try them and see which one you like the best. What's the result that pleases your eye? And that is something a lot of people don't get about tatting. It's to each its own. What looks good to you and what catches your eye and pleases you may not please somebody else, but you're the one that has to be pleased. Okay? Now, if you're selling your tatting, you want to do it right from start to finish. Okay? Because just because it looks good on you or the way you like it, you get 50 people that don't like it that way, they're not going to buy your tatting. Okay? So if you want to sell your tatting, be sure you do it all the way through the way it should be. Keep it even, keep it steady, keep it looking pretty. And that's why you want to block between rounds. Okay? Every time you finish a round, whether it be a square, an oval, or a round, like a round dolly, you want to block every time, especially if you're going to sell. If you're working with any kind of polyester thread, do not heat block. It will melt. That thread will melt. Cotton thread ain't going to melt. But polyester thread, nylon threads, yes, they do. So that's where your wet blocking comes in best, is when you're working with those type of threads. So, any questions, guys? Give me a thumbs up if y'all have learned something today and make my day. All right. I just want you guys to learn everything you possibly learn about tatting. because if we don't keep it going, folks, it's not going to stick around. It's going to go to the wayside. And this is an art that needs to stay up front. Okay? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, click the like button. Oh, Mary Jane, you are too sweet. Okay, let me get that fire line out for you. I'll show you what it looks like. And y'all can take snapshots on the video. It's backwards. Everything's backwards when running the video through that. Okay, it is 6 pound. Okay, fire line. And it is 0.015 millimeter. All right, and it comes in a 15-yard spool. Mind you, 15 yards is a lot. All right, so you can get all kinds of little goodies out of there. But that's how big she is. Can you see that? See how thin it is? So, yeah. Awesome, awesome. You're very welcome, Karen. Mary, totally missed it. But that's okay. You can watch it on replay. You're welcome, Cheryl. Very welcome. Pam, did you get Karen the PayPal address? The words read right on you. On my screen, it's backwards. Well, in beadwork, it means it'll hold 6 pounds of beads. How cool is that? See, you can catch a fish up to 6 pounds and you can put 6 pounds of beads. But if you put 6 pounds of beads on this and try to wear it around your neck, yeah, that could be a problem. Yes, we're going to shoot for class tonight, folks. We're in a better location. The only thing between me and the satellite is a blue sky. So after class, I'll set it up and we're going to discuss the next round of that doily, folks. Awesome. Don't you love it? Thank you, Marianne. I appreciate it. Thank you, Karen. We do appreciate it. We do. So, with that said, I will see you all tonight, 8 p.m., same place, same channel. And I'll send out an email to all the students and click that notification bell so it'll notify you as soon as I put up the link, okay? And you'll get the link in email. So until tonight, happy tatting, and may all your threads make beautiful lace. I'll see you guys tonight. All right? Bye-bye.